Eliza. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Not too bad this week.
Are you back at home?
Yeah, tricky decision, but things have been quite difficult money-wise, so I just thought I'd up and leave and come back.
And how have you been finding it so far?
At the beginning, it was great. It's really difficult to be accountable. I mean, I think it's quite tricky to feel like a child again when you're so used to being really independent.
Yeah, how is that making you feel?
It's pretty frustrating. Um, I think I just spent so long in London building up this really great life for myself. And to leave it all behind and come back just kind of makes me feel like I gave up on all my dreams and I failed.
Oh, I really don't think that you failed. Not at all. So how's your relationship with your parents at home?
Um, it's okay. I mean, when I was a kid, up until I was about 10, I would never hear them argue. And so I just thought that not arguing was normal, that people don't argue, parents don't argue, and if parents don't argue, then everything's great. But then you grow up and you have your own relationships and you realize, oh my God, arguments are so healthy. And so I think they've just opened the floodgates. But then I find myself regressing back to all these feelings that I had as a kid when they would argue. And it's like I hear them yelling and I feel like a child again. And it's like having all the feelings of a kid in an adult's body. So I've got all the logic of the adult, but all the emotions of a child. And it's like I've gone back 16 years of my life.
Mm. And how are you coping with those feelings?
Um, well, when I do hear them argue, I try and go out. If I can't go out, then I put on music. It's like if I can't hear them, then it doesn't exist. It's definitely something that I try and do. Block everything out. I mean, so when I was a kid, it's very similar to what I would do because I would go and hide in the wardrobe. And I think the logic with that was that if it's dark and there's no light and no noise and no nothing, then what they're saying can't exist and it can't hurt me. So that's definitely something I've tried to do again, just bottle it all up, pretend it doesn't exist.
But do you think that you're still trying to pretend that it doesn't exist because you are taking steps to seek help?
I think I'm more seeking help for my coping mechanisms because I do understand that it's not particularly healthy to just pretend everything's not happening.
Hmm. Well, and do you find that you're good at blocking things out when you're not at home? Or is it only something that you've noticed whilst you've been here?
Well, when I'm not back home, I'm 100 miles away. I don't need to block it out because I'm literally not there. But now that I am back here, it's like there's no escape. I just hear them yelling and I just find myself looking at the wardrobe, wanting to jump in, knowing that I'm not going to fit.
A wardrobe. Can you explain how that wardrobe makes you feel?
Well, when I was a kid, I would jump in the wardrobe to escape. So you close the door and the dark is all encompassing and I was safe because nothing could exist outside the wardrobe. And now not being able to go and jump in and close the door on myself has just really got me struggling. I don't know why it was a wardrobe.
You said that you can't fit inside the wardrobe. Does that mean that you've attempted to get inside the wardrobe?
Fuck, yes, it does. Is that completely ridiculous?
No, not at all. No. I
Sure.
think it gives you a feeling of safety that you're holding on to.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, is that what people normally do in therapy? I
You'd
mean,
be surprised.
can I show you the wardrobe? Would that be mad?
I'd love to see it, yes.
Okay.
And it's absolutely normal.
You mean you've actually had people jump inside their wardrobes before?
You'd be surprised.
Okay. Well, you're the expert. Okay. So, here we go. This is the wardrobe. And I don't fit into it. Well, I could try and fit into it. I mean, it might not work, but what do you think? Fuck it. I'm going to try and fit in the wardrobe. Okay? Because it's not going to work anyway. But here we go. Right. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Right, I actually do fit inside the wardrobe now, so I feel like a complete idiot. And how mad is that? Like, I've climbed in, and I immediately feel really safe and secure because it's dark in here and it's cozy. And look, here is the teddy that I take inside the wardrobe with me. So now I'm a 26-year-old woman who takes a teddy inside her wardrobe. What is happening? It's just like if I go in the wardrobe, then it's dark and there's no noise and no light and no nothing. And so all those things that my dad would say to me as a kid and that they're saying now, then they don't exist and they can't exist. And I end up just sitting in there and sitting and sitting, and I just keep coming back to the same old question. That if he loved me and he loved us, then why would he go and find someone else to make him happy? So I go around and around and around, and I think having to deal with that is why I'm in the wardrobe. Because if I'm in the wardrobe, then all of these things can't exist. But then they must exist because they're still arguing, and I'm still sitting in a wardrobe with a teddy bear.
And does being inside the wardrobe feel like a permanent state of safety? Or are you aware that on the outside of that wardrobe, the real world does exist?
I mean, it's definitely a safe haven. Like, I'm definitely aware of everything that's going on outside. So Teddy and I would do like a running commentary. So we'd sort of talk about what's going on outside. We'd say, oh, clang, there goes a pan hitting the corner of the counter by the toaster, poor pan. Or, oh, bitch, that's a new one. They didn't even let me hear that word on TV. Then I'd tell Teddy that I know lots of rude words. But my parents don't know that I know all these rude words because I'm 10 and they don't realise that they've actually taught them all to me. So we talk about that, and then we talk about how maybe this is a sitcom, you know, those TV shows that are on after 9 o'clock that we're not allowed to watch. But then I'd say, oh, well, Teddy, this can't be a sitcom because, you know, those are supposed to be funny. And this isn't funny because it makes my tummy wriggle around and tie up in knots. And then I'd tell Teddy about this rope. This rope that is like a big, thick, invisible rope, and it's stretching from the knots in my tummy, out the door, down the stairs, to Mummy and Daddy, and it connects us, but it's fraying. And they're slipping away. And there's nothing I can do about it. But they're the people that made me, that literally made me exist. So if they're slipping away and they don't exist, then I can't exist. And then I don't know where that leaves me. So then I'm sitting there, and now I'm just a 26-year-old woman who sits inside a wardrobe talking to her teddy bear. Like, what is happening?
Do you think you'd still be drawn to these objects if your parents weren't arguing?
I really don't. Like, bad things happened to me before. Well, you know, shit happens all the time. Like, I don't go, oh no, I've been dumped, I'm going to jump in the wardrobe and grab my teddy. Who does that? Every time I hear them argue, I just want to jump in. I mean, now it turns out I actually do fit, but I don't think I would be doing it if it wasn't for them arguing. I just don't want to have to pick up the pieces again.
I mean, you need to remember that this isn't on you. None of it's your fault. And you've done the right thing.
I mean, you really would think they have their shit together. I mean, I'm an adult and I don't have my shit together, but, you know, I try. Do you feel like an adult? Sorry, I probably can't ask you that. I just don't really think anyone ever feels like an adult. You know, like we technically are adults, but who actually feels like an adult? I mean, who am I to talk? I sit inside my wardrobe cuddling my teddy.